The poor female student funded by my husband sent me a provocative text. In the photo, she was wearing my pajamas, lying on my bed. Big sister, you're already old, your skin is loose, and when you smile there are wrinkles all over your face, you're just ugly. But I'm different. I'm only 19 this year, still a virgin, and no man can resist me. He was just holding me, nearly wore me out. Every word was unbearable to read. So what if she's 19? I didn't indulge her. I pixelated the photo and sent it straight to her university class group chat. Not long after, Benjamin Lewis called me. How old are you? Is it really worth arguing with a barely adult girl? Do you even realize how much trouble you could cause her? Zoe Robinson, damn, she's disgusting. I didn't say a word, just hung up and blocked all his contacts. Whatever. If something's dirty, I don't want it anymore. 1. That night, I packed Benjamin's stuff and threw it into the hallway. I hired the most professional cleaning service to scrub every inch of the house. I also deleted the fingerprints from the smart lock and changed the password. But no matter how carefully I planned, Benjamin guessed the new code. He pushed open the door and woke me while I was still asleep. Zoe, what do you think you're doing? Throwing my stuff out? What, you want a divorce and to go our separate ways? I hadn't slept all night and was just dozing off when he woke me, my mind a complete fog. Facing his accusations, I grabbed the nearest pillow and threw it at him. Yeah, separate lives. Get out of here. Benjamin froze for a second, bent down to pick up the pillow, dusted it off, and put it back on my bedside table. He frowned at the smell of alcohol on me. Why are you drinking again? Don't you know you get headaches whenever you drink? Just lie down and rest. I'll make you some food. He turned to leave. I called after him, I told you to get out. Benjamin, are you deaf? His footsteps paused but he quietly closed the door behind him. It's always like this. All the anger I've been holding in, wanting answers, just hits a wall every time. He always avoids it. And as time goes by, I slowly start healing myself. While he ignores my pain and struggles, only to come back acting all caring after I break down, pointing out my faults and forcing me to apologize. In other words, no matter who's right or wrong, I'm always the one who has to give in first. Because I love him, I'm willing to lose my mind, exhaust myself, and always treat him like a treasure, protecting his pride. But that only works as long as I still love him. I heard chopping sounds from the kitchen, and soon the smell of food filled the air. Benjamin knocked on my door. Baby, time to get up and eat. When I got up, he had already plated the food, 3 dishes and a soup, all my favorites. A few days ago, he had yelled at me on the phone over Lily Martinez. It seemed like all of that was forgotten now. That's how he is. He thinks if he ignores it, the problem will just disappear. But he doesn't realize all those things just pile up inside me, waiting for one spark to explode. After we ate, Benjamin pulled out a lipstick from somewhere. I heard from a coworker this brand is really good, so I bought you one. See if you like it. I opened the cap, it was an old-fashioned, deep red lipstick. The top of the lipstick was even worn down a bit. Without expression, I snapped the cap back on and casually tossed it in the trash. 2. Benjamin got angry. Zoe, what do you mean? Even if you don't like something I give you, you shouldn't just throw it away. I smiled and showed him the message I just received. It was from Lily. Big sister, do you like the lipstick? I picked it out myself, it suits old ladies like you best. Of course, this is just one of the lipsticks from the set Benjamin bought me. The deepest red, perfect match for you. Benjamin's angry expression stiffened. I sneered. What do you think this means? Benjamin, giving me something someone else rejected? Are you seriously capable of doing that? She's just a kid who just became an adult. She doesn't understand social etiquette. She says whatever's on her mind. It's normal. You're the older one, do you really want to pick a fight with someone younger? Benjamin's rebuttal made me laugh. Older? Benjamin, have some shame. If I'm the elder, then what are you? Ha! This barely adult kid wearing my underwear, lying on my bed, and sleeping with my man. You think I shouldn't care? Benjamin got furious, suddenly standing up and pacing the living room several times, finally pointing at my nose. You want to make a big deal out of this? It was just an accident. I drank too much at a social event. She'd never seen clothes like that before and just tried them on. We didn't do anything. Why blow it out of proportion? I stared at Benjamin tightly. His anger and irritation were like a bucket of water dousing my own fury. You can't wake someone pretending to be asleep. I shouldn't keep torturing myself. That kind of trash, whoever wants it can have it. But don't shamelessly shove it in front of me. It's disgusting. Benjamin sensed the hidden insult in my words and grabbed my wrist hard. What do you mean? Zoe, what do you mean? I sneered coldly. What do I mean? I mean get out. Go back to your 19-year-old little girlfriend and stop disgusting me. Got it? 3. As soon as I finished speaking, a heavy slap landed hard across my face. We had been married for 5 years, and Benjamin had never raised a hand to me before. This was the first time. He looked down at me with utter disgust on his face. Zoe, I've already given you face by coming back to you on my own, and what do? You have to act like a fool, don't you? Do you even realize how old you are? You're fighting with a clueless little girl over me, isn't that embarrassing? You're 10 years older than Lily, Zoe. 10 whole years. And she's not wrong. You're almost 30, you're already old. Instead of wasting your time fighting over jealousy, why don't you try fixing yourself up a bit? I widened my eyes, hardly able to believe what I was hearing. Sure enough, the things people say when they're truly furious are their honest thoughts. Anyone else can call me old or ugly, but one person cannot. Benjamin cannot. I stood up and slapped him back with the back of my hand. Benjamin, do you have any conscience at all? Wasn't I ever young? Lily is 19, enjoying all the luxury you've given her. What about my 19? My youth has been spent suffering alongside you through these years of hard work. Benjamin covered his face, frowning. Have I ever treated you badly all these years? Every day, I've been feeding you well and taking care of you. Can't you just behave? All right, I hit you once, you hit me once, that makes us even. I don't want outsiders to come between us and ruin our relationship. I closed my eyes, not wanting to hear any more. A heavy pain settled in my lower abdomen, and a bad feeling washed over me. Benjamin didn't notice anything wrong because his phone suddenly rang sharply. Benjamin. I just got to school, and some classmates are bullying me. They're calling me the other woman, wah. Benjamin shot me a sharp glare. Don't be scared. I'm coming to find you now. After hanging up, he looked down at me with a cold tone. Because of your recklessness, Lily's been isolated by her classmates. She's still a kid. If something happens to her, you won't be able to wash your hands of it. Benjamin. I gripped my lower belly tightly, pale-faced as I looked at him. I'm pregnant. My stomach really hurts. Can you please take me to the hospital first? Benjamin stopped in his tracks, looked back at me across the sofa, and snorted coldly. What? Changing your reason to keep me now? It's been 5 years, and your body hasn't shown any sign of pregnancy. And now, suddenly you're pregnant? Who would believe that? I no longer wanted to argue. I looked down at my skirt stained red with blood, trembling as I begged. I'm not lying to you, Benjamin. I'm bleeding. The only response was the heavy slam of the door. 4. The baby is gone. I quietly listened as the doctor told me the news. Even though I was prepared to accept it, tears still welled up uncontrollably. The day I found out I was pregnant, Benjamin and Lily had been in bed together. The little life we'd waited for 5 years finally arrived. And left without even a chance to see the world. The doctor left. The whole ward was empty except for me. It felt so lonely. Only then did I realize that after 5 years in this city, I didn't even have one true friend. My entire life had revolved around Benjamin. I curled up under the covers, biting my fingers and crying in despair. I didn't get a single call from Benjamin all day. Not even one message. He probably still didn't realize I'd blocked him. There was no bathroom in the ward, so I had to carry my drip to the public restroom nearby. But as soon as I stood up, I couldn't zip up my dress. I had no choice but to ask the cleaning lady for help. As she gently helped with the zipper, she kindly reminded me, next time, just ask a nurse if you need to go to the bathroom. In your condition, if you're not careful, the blood could flow back the wrong way, that wouldn't be good. Her long-missed kindness made my nose sting, and tears threatened to fall again. Then, I saw Lily. She had a bandage on her forehead, her mocking gaze fixed on me without any shame. Benjamin had taken good care of her. Perfect makeup, long wavy hair, a light purple skirt, she looked like a doll. There was no trace left of the dirty, timid little girl she once was. Well, what a coincidence. 5. She smiled sweetly, brushing back her long hair to reveal a hickey on her neck. Sis, are you sick? Why did you come to the hospital alone? Even if Benjamin doesn't want to come with you, you should have brought a friend. Oh, I just remembered, she said happily, as if she'd thought of something amusing. Benjamin told me that an old woman with such a bad temper like you doesn't have any friends. How pitiful. You can't even zip up your own pants when you go to the bathroom. Her eyes were full of superiority, the kind of smugness that comes from stealing someone else's beloved. I felt disgusted. For a man who will never truly belong to you, you've made a fool of yourself. That reputation as a homewrecker will follow you for life. Was it really worth it? She stepped closer and whispered with a mocking grin into my ear. The title of homewrecker means nothing compared to the wealth and status I gained as Mrs. Lewis. From the first moment I saw you, I thought you didn't deserve this man, or any of this. The one who should replace you is me. To be honest, you're almost 30 now, definitely getting old. Benjamin told me himself that he has no desire for you anymore. Anger and shame churned inside me so fiercely that I almost lost control, wanting to tear her face apart. I took a deep breath and held back. Fighting this disgusting woman over a man who isn't even worth it would only make me look worse. Is that so? I hope when you're old, he won't replace you with an even younger woman. With that, I walked past her. But Lily ran faster and I clearly heard her, while jogging, throw herself into Benjamin's waiting arms at the bathroom door. Benjamin, I know I was wrong. I shouldn't have given in to my feelings and been with you. Please, make Zoe leave me alone. She said if I don't leave you, she'll ruin my reputation at school. I know I'm wrong, but Benjamin, I'm doing this because I like you. If you want me to, I'll bear all the blame. I watched Lily's poorly acted little drama with cool detachment. Her performance was awful and couldn't hide the green-eyed jealousy dripping off her. Yet Benjamin looked genuinely moved. He pulled Lily behind him, not caring why I was in the hospital or how long I'd been on the drip. 6. He scolded me, Zoe, what exactly do you want? You're not a young girl anymore. You don't have the luxury of being willful. If you have complaints, take them out on me, don't make trouble for Lily. Right now, apologize to Lily. He grabbed me and forced me to bend down. I struggled awkwardly, exhausted and in pain. I begged Benjamin to let go, telling him I was hurting all over, even still hooked up to the drip. But he seemed deaf to it and even kicked the back of my knee. I gritted my teeth through the sharp pain and refused to kneel. A crowd had gathered, all watching this spectacle. I no longer had the strength to hold the bag, and blood started to flow back through the drip line, bright red. I was tired. I didn't want to fight anymore. Since Benjamin gave me no dignity, I wouldn't spare him any face. I stopped holding back and let all my frustration and vulnerability turn into rage as I shouted at him. To please a mistress who's 11 years younger than you, you force your wife to kneel and apologize. Benjamin, you really outdid yourself. We dated for 3 years and have been married for 5. I've wasted 8 years of my youth on you. 8 years. How many more 8-year spans do I have in my life? I stuck by you through starting your business, through hardship, living in a tiny basement, seeing countless sunrises at 4 a.m. And now that you've made it big, you're supporting a mistress. Even animals have more humanity than you. Everyone, look. This man is Benjamin, CEO of Lewis Corporation. And beside him is the mistress he supports, 11 years younger than him. 7. The crowd buzzed with gossip. It's not unusual for a husband to mistreat his wife for a mistress, but publicly forcing the wife to kneel and apologize was unheard of, especially with such prominent people watching. Some pulled out phones to take photos and videos, while others started cursing loudly at Benjamin and Lily. Benjamin shielded Lily's face from being recorded. I stood coldly among the crowd, watching them both. Eventually, I lost consciousness from exhaustion. When I woke up again, it was dark, and I was back in the hospital room. My throat was parched, and when I tried to sit up, I collapsed weakly. A hand held a glass of water out to me. Under the light, I saw Benjamin's face, showing a rare hint of concern. I didn't take the glass and lay back down. "I'm sorry," he said with unusual regret. "I thought you just had a cold. I didn't expect." "Don't be too sad. You can have another child. Right now, you need to focus on recovering, then we can." I sneered and interrupted him. "Then what? Benjamin, do you really think there'll be a then for us? Why would I, Zoe, accept a man who's already tainted? Seeing you now just makes me sick and disgusted." My intense hatred seemed to stab his fragile ego. He raised his hand to strike me, but stopped halfway. "I've stayed by your side and even apologized. What more do you want? Can't you just behave? Why do you have to make things worse? If you weren't causing trouble, would I have hit you? Would the baby be gone? Can't you reflect on your own mistakes? I've put up with you for so many years. If you keep acting like this, let's just get a divorce and stop torturing each other." 8. Finally, he pulled out his usual threat. Whenever he couldn't resolve a conflict, he always threatened me with divorce. He knew I wouldn't agree. He was even more sure that I couldn't live without him. So this tactic always worked. This time was no different. He looked at me with that confident, expectant look, waiting for me to bow my head like before, humbly begging him not to leave me. But this time, I was eager to respond. "Fine, Benjamin. Let's get a divorce." The superiority in his eyes vanished instantly. Pale, disappointed, angry emotions crossed his face. He suddenly stood up and almost shouted at me. "Do you know what you're saying?" "Of course. I'm not deaf." I stared into his eyes and spoke clearly, word by word. "I agree to the divorce. If Mr. Lewis doesn't have time, I can contact a lawyer to draft the divorce papers. Then all you have to do is sign your name." After I said this, Benjamin didn't speak for a long time. The whole hospital room was silent. I didn't rush him, I quietly waited. Eventually, Benjamin walked to the balcony. Through the glass window, I saw him light a cigarette and lean against the railing, lost in thought. After about half an hour, he came back in, smelling strongly of smoke. He reached out to ruffle my hair, but I dodged. His hand awkwardly stopped midair before forcing a smile. "You haven't eaten all day, right? What do you want? I'll make it for you. Don't be angry, okay?" I lifted my eyelids and looked at him, then sneered coldly. "Wasn't I clear enough just now? I agreed to the divorce, Benjamin. Why are you still pretending? How cheap." Right then, Lily pushed open the door. Hearing me insult Benjamin like that, she immediately ran over and grabbed his hand. "If you agree to divorce, then just do it quickly. Benjamin, haven't you realized? She's just playing hard to get. She doesn't care about you at all. It's been so hard for you to get this far, and she's slandering your reputation in front of everyone. If it were me, I'd always agree with Benjamin and put him first. Such classic manipulative words. This speech could be a textbook example of a scheming green tea act. 9. Benjamin kept staring at me and didn't pull away from Lily's hand. Zoe, I was impulsive just now. We've been married for 5 years, divorce isn't a joke. Please don't. His eyes reddened. Even after I humiliated him like that, his tone was still tender. I found it somewhat laughable. Am I mistaken? Weren't you the one who brought up divorce? I'm just agreeing. Besides, Mr. Lewis, before you say any more, could you please let go of your little lover's hand? Benjamin's lips moved. If I let go, will you drop the divorce? I'm okay with not divorcing, I smiled at Lily, but you and she need to cut ties completely. How you made me kneel and apologize to her before, now she should apologize to me the same way. I thought this request was fair. But Lily whimpered, burying her head in Benjamin's chest, shaking her head non-stop. Just as I expected. Benjamin didn't let go of Lily's hand. He looked helpless. Why do you have to make things difficult with Lily? We're both women. Can't you be more gentle and tolerant like her? You're making this so hard for me. In money and material things, you won't lose a thing. Can't you just behave? I'm begging you. Such greed. I cursed under my breath, grabbed a glass water cup nearby, and threw it at them. Benjamin shielded Lily, dodging the cup, which shattered on the floor. Sharp glass cut Lily's calf, and she cried out in pain. Zoe! Benjamin scolded, don't think I won't divorce you. Then just do it already. Be a real man and be decisive, okay? I had no hope left for this man. I just wanted to get out of this misery as soon as possible. Fine. Divorce. Zoe, you better not regret this. Benjamin held Lily's hand and left the hospital room. Before leaving, Lily even gave me a provocative wink. It was almost laughable. Selling her body and dignity to get a man, she had no idea what she was proud of. 10. A month later, my body finally recovered from the toll of losing the baby. It happened to be the anniversary celebration of Lewis Corporation. In previous years, I had always attended as Benjamin's companion. This year, I didn't want to go. But as a major shareholder, skipping it would affect the company's reputation, so I still went. I thought Benjamin would know how to behave at such an event. After all, he once treasured the results of all his hard work. But I never expected to see Lily at the banquet, and that he would completely ignore his reputation. She wore a light blue gown, like an ethereal fairy drifting through the crowd. Benjamin really did take good care of her. Her jewelry was expensive, and the dress was a custom design. In this circle, there are no secrets. Almost everyone there knew who Lily was. Benjamin's 19-year-old mistress. She was met with contemptuous and disdainful looks from many. But she seemed completely oblivious, thinking herself a noble peacock attracting all eyes. I had planned to keep the peace and not bother with her, but she had no right to arrogantly dance right in front of me. And deliberately spilled red wine on my dress. Oh, Zoe, I'm so sorry for dirtying your dress. She apologized with fake distress, but her eyes were full of contempt. Well, it's just a dress. Whether you change it or not doesn't matter. No matter how nice your clothes are, they can't hide the fact that you're old. Nobody cares what you wear. I looked down at the large red stain on my chest and suddenly laughed. You really are young. Have you been reading too many CEO romance novels and think you're the star of this world? Lily's expression changed. What do you mean by that? I said nothing but brushed off the wine stain. This dress is by the famous designer Alger. There's only one in the world, worth $3 million. Today, he lent it to me to promote his brand at the company's anniversary. Now you've ruined it. $3 million. You'll have to pay for it. She was just a 19-year-old girl and clearly didn't understand. She was visibly frightened. Backing away step by step, shaking her head non-stop. It's not my fault. You were careless. 11. I smiled and pointed at the security cameras above. You don't have to admit it. The footage will prove everything. Ms. Martinez, will the $3 million be paid in cash or by credit card? Lily was so scared she almost cried. I don't have that much money. I nodded and called security. Call the police. This person ruined my $3 million dress. Security moved to take Lily away, but Benjamin arrived just in time. Lily cried into Benjamin's arms. Benjamin frowned and looked at me. Zoe, can't you see what kind of occasion this is? You're making a scene. Whether I'm making a scene, check the footage. Listen to what your beloved Lily said to me. Lily clung tightly to Benjamin's arm, shaking her head repeatedly. Benjamin knew the truth but refused to watch the footage. He pulled out a bank card and threw it at me. $3 million is nothing. I'll pay for her. Now get lost. I looked at the card on the floor and smiled sarcastically. I was trying to spare you some face, but you're the one who showed no mercy, Benjamin. I handed a USB drive to the staff. Soon, the entire venue darkened. The main screen lit up, displaying message conversations. It was clearly a chat between a man and a woman. The woman's messages were explicit and crude. No one recognized the woman's profile picture, but Benjamin certainly did. I watched his face grow increasingly ugly and patted his shoulder. Don't worry, the best is yet to come. The chat also included video clips. It was Lily, provocatively revealing intimate parts, acting as provocatively as in certain films. And in the final clip, Benjamin himself appeared. The CEO of Lewis Corporation, with some unusual private habits in the bedroom. There was more to come, but Benjamin demanded it be cut off. The room was silent. Money makes the world go round, that's what I collected during my month of recovery. Furious, Benjamin slapped Lily hard. You little traitor. How dare you betray me? 12. I stopped paying attention to what happened afterward. That night ended with Lily being dragged into a car by Benjamin's bodyguards, her hair pulled harshly. Benjamin was never a kind man. Lily, naive as she was, didn't realize that. But I knew very well. The world of the wealthy is not as simple as she thought. She believed that being young and beautiful would make powerful, rich men fall at her feet. How naive. In this circle, only interests last forever. Would those rich second-generation heirs and CEOs she knew really oppose me for her sake? After all, I'm the largest shareholder of Lewis Corporation. Benjamin never told Lily this. At the company's founding, I worked alongside him. That was when he loved me the most. He cherished me in everything we had worked so hard for. After the company went public, I returned to focus on family. He always felt he owed me for sharing those tough years, so when dividing shares, 60% of Lewis Corp belonged to me. Back then, his goal was to make it up to me and keep me at home. As the company grew, he tried many times, openly and secretly, to get more shares back. But I refused every time. I loved Benjamin blindly, but I was also an adult who had fought hard in society for years. I knew very well that for a woman, only interests last forever. As long as I hold these shares, Benjamin will never divorce me. But now, he's utterly disgraced. I have 1,000 reasons to kick him out of the company. He always thought I was just a love-struck fool who depended on him to survive in this city. So when I threw the CEO removal agreement in front of him, he was still in disbelief. The company is mine. Without me, what can you run it with? As long as I have money, I can find anyone talented enough. I gently held his hand. You should know, it's not me wanting you gone, your scandals are too many. If you stay, the company will suffer. You don't want all your hard work to be ruined, do you? Don't worry, you're only giving up your position. We can still live well, just without you being so overworked, okay? For the company's future, sign it. He hesitated a long time before writing, Wife, do you still blame me for trusting Lily wrongly? I thought of the last time I saw Lily, her legs broken, face scratched, dumped in an underground club. Her days ahead would be miserable. I know it's normal to be weak against young, beautiful women. If you admit your mistake, I can forgive you. I smiled lightly. He was touched and promised over and over, "Wife, I will love you more from now on. I swear I won't betray you again." Then he decisively signed his name. I looked at the signed paper and smiled with satisfaction. This was only the first step. When a woman makes up her mind, she can be more ruthless than anyone. 13. Although I found reliable people to manage the company, I still went there daily to ensure I could participate in decisions smoothly in the future. Since Benjamin had nothing else to do, he stayed home cleaning and cooking for me. It was like our roles had reversed. Benjamin stayed home doing chores, while I lived freely outside, even staying out late sometimes. Many times, after drinking with friends late at night, I'd come home and see Benjamin asleep on the sofa hugging a pillow, waiting for me. In him, I saw the shadow of my former self. "What have you been doing recently? You've barely come home this month. Zoe, do you still want this family?" That question sounded oddly familiar. During many nights when I waited from dusk till dawn, I asked him the same, feeling hurt and angry. "Business entertaining," I tossed my bag on the sofa. "You lie at home all day, you wouldn't understand how hard it is to close a deal." Benjamin looked at me angrily. "I handled company affairs before, how could I not know?" "Really? Then you should understand me more. For years, haven't you often stayed out all night too?" I smiled and asked back. He had no reply. Because what I was doing, he had done too. Using entertaining as an excuse to drink with his so-called business partners. Ignoring my calls and even turning off his phone. Facing my questions, he always said it was entertaining and that I, a woman, couldn't understand how to handle it. Now I was just giving back his own words. 14. If something's wrong next time, tell me sooner. Yesterday was my birthday. I thought you'd come home to celebrate. I made you a whole meal. I looked at the cold food on the table. I've eaten this stuff for 5 years. I'm tired of it. I yawned impatiently and took out a bottle of men's cologne from my bag, handing it to him. "For you. Birthday gift." His eyes lit up as he unwrapped it, only to find it half empty. "The new mail secretary you hired posted this on social media yesterday. Is this the gift for him?" He slammed the bottle on the floor. "Zoe. What's your meaning? Using something used to brush me off?" I was still indifferent. "How is this brushing off? It's just half a bottle spilled." Why yell? Didn't I give you a card? Why can't you buy what you want yourself? Stop being so petty. Benjamin's gaze was broken. Are you punishing me? Wife, don't do this. Please. I pushed him away. This is how I've always been. If it works, great. If not, then get out. The moment I mentioned divorce, Benjamin panicked. He shook his head desperately. Don't divorce me. I'm sorry, wife. I know I was wrong. I won't talk back anymore. Please don't divorce. His eyes were red, filled with fear. I smiled with satisfaction and patted his face. A good dog obeys. His back stiffened for a moment. Would he dare divorce? No. He only has 10% of the company shares. As the one at fault, he'd walk away with nothing. The other shareholders wouldn't let him return. Divorce means losing everything. In the end, he bowed his proud head. 15. That night, I went to a bar a friend recommended and ordered 2 male models. When Benjamin got the news and rushed over, I was gently holding one model's chin, feeding him some red wine from my glass. He stormed in, snatched the glass from my hand, and smashed it on the floor. Zoe! This is what you call socializing? Working? His eyes were bloodshot, filled with pain and helplessness. Why? Why are you treating me like this? Zoe, haven't I done enough? Don't I love you enough? Love or not, that's a different story. I traced my fingers over the model's face and abs, teasing him. Benjamin, you're over 30 now. You're old. But I still have many better choices, each younger, more handsome, and taller than you. Why should I waste my feelings and the rest of my life on an old man like you? You shouldn't control me. Now I'm living well, taking care of you. Isn't that good enough? Benjamin couldn't believe what he was hearing. His lips trembled, and his eyes shattered. He wasn't wrong. These were exactly the thoughts he had when he betrayed me. Now that I had spelled them out without missing a word, he had no argument left. Tears streamed down his face as he shook his head repeatedly. No, it shouldn't be like this. 8 years, we've been together 8 years. When I had nothing, you never left me. Now you don't love me just because I'm old. You're punishing me, aren't you? You're still angry at me, right? His painful hysteria only made me more irritated. All this drama just because you're angry? Benjamin, you're way too full of yourself. Fine then, let's get a divorce. I've already gotten tired of looking at your face for 8 years, divorce. After a long silence, Benjamin's face turned pale. I'm sorry, honey. Please don't divorce me, I beg you. He dropped to his knees in front of me. I know I was a jerk before, I hurt you. I promise, I will change. I don't want anything else, I don't care about you, I just beg you not to leave me. We've been through so much in 8 years, and things are finally getting better, aren't they? We shouldn't end like this. I slapped him hard. You know we've been together 8 years? How did you treat me for a younger, prettier woman? People who betray true love should swallow 1,000 needles, those were your exact words back then. I grabbed his chin, smiling cruelly. No divorce. Fine. 1,000 needles. Not one less. If you can swallow them all, then we'll stay together. With that, I pushed him away and walked out. Not long after, my friend called me. Benjamin had been hospitalized. She said after I left, he cried and laughed, and then really started swallowing needles. I watched the surveillance video my friend sent me. Benjamin was covered in blood, collapsed on the floor in pain, trembling uncontrollably, but he kept forcing one needle after another into his mouth. He pushed away everyone trying to stop him, crying out, "If I swallow all 1,000 needles, Zoe will forgive me." That night, the hospital called me many times. I didn't answer a single call. I had said, once I decide to let go, I can be crueler than anyone. From then on, whether he lived or died was no longer my concern. 16. The day of the divorce was sunny. I walked out of the civil affairs office holding the divorce certificate. Behind me, Benjamin looked haggard, he seemed to have aged 10 years overnight. Just a few days earlier, when the lawyers were sorting through our marital assets, he realized all the properties under my name had already been secretly transferred. After the divorce, he only got 100,000 yuan. The business he had built half his life on ended up in my hands. When did you start planning this? His tired, hoarse voice came from behind me. Since the day I lost our child and you forced me to kneel to Lily. That night, I sat by the window for a long time. Until the full moon disappeared completely over the horizon. Until my tears dried up. Until my shattered sanity slowly pieced itself back together. Only then did I finally give up hope. From that day, I began preparing to take everything from him. I clearly decided to live well with you, he squatted down, sobbing with pain and regret. It's okay. I'll enjoy the happy life that should have been yours instead. I said this and got into the car. In the rearview mirror, his bent figure stood still for a long time. I suddenly remembered long ago, when the company earned its first pot of gold. He held me tight. That day, the sunlight was just as bright. He whispered in my ear. Honey, thank you for being with me for so long. From now on, I will love you twice as much and give you a better life. The happiness once within reach was destroyed by him. Who's to blame? Serves him right.